Hey everyone, welcome to the video. We're taking a quick look at the MLB main slate for today on DraftKings. Also, it's Sunday, so happy race day. If you're going to be playing NASCAR DFS this weekend, I would recommend checking out my video I posted yesterday. I'll put that in the top right so you can click on that. And before we continue, if you could leave a like, subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate that. Alright, so let's get into this slate. Actually, before we continue, this is what I was working on yesterday. It's like a little model thing. I still have some kinks to work out because some of the players aren't showing up, but it's just projections and stuff, park factor, pitch weight, and stuff like that. We got the probable pitchers. Obviously, the numbers need to normalize because obviously Chris Archer is going to get 61 today, but it does actually have him as number one pitcher today. But so obviously stuff still needs to normalize out, and I got to fix a few kinks. But other than that, I think this is going to be really nice, something we can really use. So I'm looking forward to that. It might take a while for it to normalize and stuff, but looking forward to use it when I can. Alright, so anyway, let's get into the pitchers. I think Max Scherzer is going to be the obvious number one. He's the best pitcher in the league in my opinion. The Mets lineup isn't much to be scared about. He's got elite numbers all the way around. Doesn't give up too much power. He can give up some power to left-handed bats, but it's really not that bad at all. Obviously more fly balls than ground balls, but Max Scherzer is elite. High strikeout rate, 38% to righties, 31% to lefties. Just in my opinion, the best pitcher in the league. The only guys I'd be worried about in this lineup is Nimmo, Cano, Conforto. But on opening day, he mowed them down. I believe he had double-digit strikeouts, so no problem if we go with Max Scherzer. He's probably the safest play on the board. But I think my favorite guy today is going to be Chris Archer, just because of the price savings we get on that. But yeah, 2,000 price saving. And I think Chris Archer is a pretty good pitcher. He's got a nice strikeout rate. His xFIP was better than his ERA last year. And the Reds cannot. Well, yesterday they were able to get some hits, but other than that, their offense has been really struggling this year. He has a little bit. He's worse splits versus lefties, as most right hitters do. But really, I'm not too scared of Winker. Votto's a good hitter, obviously, but he doesn't hit like he used to. Schebler's not too scary, but other than that, it's a pretty weak lineup. 167 ISO total, and I really like Chris Archer today. It's a good park. He's favored. It's a low Vegas total, and he's at home, so I really like Chris Archer today. He's only 9,300 too, so that's really nice. And then also like Mike Clevenger. So Toronto, as you know, they've been really struggling out of the gate as well. And Clevenger's a favorite at home, and it's a low Vegas total again. And last time out against the White Sox, I know they strike out a ton, but he had 12 strikeouts and just put up an excellent game. And I think Clevenger's one of the best plays. Probably gonna have him behind Archer just because of price, and I just like the ballpark better for him and lower Vegas total. But I really like Mike Clevenger. Not too much to be scared of in this lineup. I wouldn't mind if you took a shot at Socrates Brito as a leadoff guy. He's really cheap, but other than that, there's nothing really I'm really too scared of. I really like Mike Clevenger today. And then the last pitcher is going to be in the same game actually, Marcus Stroman, just because the Indians are another team that struggled out of the gate. I know they got Ramirez back in the lineup, but he doesn't give up a lot of power at all. He's really good at ground ball, one of the best in the league, 63% ground ball rate, which is really nice. Doesn't give up a lot of fly balls, and just not too much to be scared of in this lineup. He does give up a little bit of hard contact to lefties, and I know it's a lefty-heavy lineup, but it's not like they're good lefties. But Ramirez, obviously, but I think Stroman's nice, 7,100 salary. He's not a favorite, but it's a low Vegas total, and I wouldn't mind if he went there for the salary savings to get some bats. Alright, so speaking of the bats, let's go to my favorite stacks and players. I think the Astros are my favorite. They're pretty cheap, too, for some reason. Mike Fiers isn't good. I know he's been good out of the gate, but if you're just going to trust his history, he just gives up a ton of home runs, a lot of power, and especially to righties. He's actually worse versus righties, and this is a righty-heavy lineup. But I don't mind Michael Brantley still. Michael Brantley probably being one of my favorite plays again. I hit a home run yesterday, I believe, and so did George Springer. George Springer is exceptionally cheap today for some reason. I think he's 4,300. That just makes no sense to me. It's a really good matchup. So I like this whole lineup, really. Springer's a good play. Altuve's a fine play. Bregman's an awesome play, as always. Michael Brantley hitting cleanup, and he's a lefty. Lefty on righty matchup. He obviously hits righties better. So I don't mind using Michael Brantley at all. One of my favorite plays, him with George Springer, because he's just way too cheap. So I like all these guys. I also like the Mariners lefties. This game's one of the higher Vegas totals here. So like these Mariners lefties versus Nova, he struggles versus lefties a lot more than he does righties. I mean, he's not good versus either really, but definitely can attack him with the lefties. I think Malik Smith's an awesome play leading off. Jay Bruce is one of my favorite plays actually. He had 2 home runs. Was that yesterday or the day before? So he's hot. And Narvaez, the guy we've been kind of using a lot this year. But he gets a nice lefty versus righty matchup, and I think he's a good play too. He's pretty cheap. And in the same game, I like the White Sox righties. So Tim Anderson, he hits lefties much better than he hits righties. I'll show you the splits here. Definitely a lot better versus lefties. Jose Abreu is an awesome play today. Castillo's a good play as well. And Makata, I don't play him when he hits as a righty. I said his splits are terrible when he hits as a righty. So you're gonna stay away from that. But I really like Tim Anderson, Abreu, and Castillo. I think those are nice plays as well. Sorry, my phone's going off. I like the Brewers lefties as well, going against Hendricks. So obviously Christian Yelich really stands out, Travis Shaw stands out, and Musaka stands out. They have great numbers versus righties. And Hendricks isn't a bad pitcher. He's not a bad pitcher, but I just think these guys are better than Hendricks is. So I don't mind if you go there. Obviously not my favorite plays, but they should be a little lower owned, and we know Yelich can go off anytime, and Shaw, and it's a good ballpark for them as well. Not someone I'm really looking to attack though, but don't mind if you go there. And I also like the Pittsburgh lefties going against Escalfani. As you can see, he really struggles versus lefties, much better versus righties. But when he sees lefties, he gets kind of crushed. So I think we can really attack with the Pittsburgh lefties. Adam Frazier's fine, Josh Bell is fine, and they really don't have much lefties. That's the thing. But Adam Frazier's standing out as a really nice play there. And I also like some of the Royals bats, especially their speed. Where are they at? Up here. Going against Tyson Ross. So Merrifield's going to stand out. So is Mondesi. I think they get really nice stolen base upside. And I also like Alex Gordon as he gets a nice lefty versus righty matchup. And he's 3,500, and I believe he should be hitting third. So he's standing out as a nice value play on the slate. And if you're going to get Max Scherzer, he's going to really help you get Max Scherzer as well. As you can see, Tyson Ross does struggle. I never used to be pretty decent, but he's really struggled the past few years. Only a 16% strikeout rate versus lefties. Gives up some nice power to them as well. So don't mind if you go with Alex Gordon or Mondesi or with Merrifield. So if we're going to go to the core, I think I already have these guys in. Malik Smith, Jay Bruce are fine. I also don't mind Springer, Brantley. Whoops. I like these 2 guys as well. So probably my favorite for outfielders. I like Gordon too. If you need to go cheap, especially if you're getting Max Scherzer. And a catcher, obviously Narvaez and Castillo are probably my favorite plays from those 2 favorite plays from that catcher. And I like, for pitcher, it's going to be Chris Archer, and also really like Mike Clevenger as 2 pitchers. But if you want to spend up, obviously I don't mind Max Scherzer as well. So those are probably my favorite plays. I would roll with those guys, mix and match. Any combination really would be fine. Alright guys, that's all I have for the video. If you are going to play NASCAR, like I said, make sure you watch that video. Got a lot of good information on there. And if you have any questions, you can comment below. Remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate that, and good luck today.